You're kind of cute though.
Oh, thanks.
What are you trying to do?
I got a boyfriend.
You actually got a boyfriend? I thought he's back home.
He's back, yeah, he's home, but he's not here.
Exactly, he's back home.
Yeah.
But I'm right here.
Yeah, I know.
So who's looking after you while he's away?
You.
I can look after you, come here. I'll look after you. You don't need your boyfriend, do you?
No.
Fuck him. Say, fuck my boyfriend.
Fuck my boyfriend.
Oh, that's crazy.
All over the world, there are women who are destroying relationships with kind, stable men because they think they can do better. But what evidence do they have that they can level up and find a higher quality man? Situations like this, you've got some smooth talking dude who's like flirting with her, trying to be sexual with her. And so she's thinking, well, this guy is more confident than my boyfriend. He's taller than my boyfriend and he's definitely interested in me. Why have I been settling for my nice guy boyfriend? When all along I could have had, Mr. Sexy Confidence. I guess my value in the dating market is higher than I thought, right? Wrong.
Your league as a woman is the man that you can get commitment from, the man that you can get marriage from, not the guy who you can
I can attest to that. I unfortunately have a very high body count, and a lot of that happened in my 20s because I slept with a lot of gorgeous men, admittedly, but they didn't want to wife me or girlfriend me because, let's be honest, I was a fat slut. Now, at 35 and unmarried, I
did not see that coming.
I know. I'm so sorry. You're disappointed.
I was blindsided.
Yeah. And I think that's partly because, I had to get real with myself and be honest about where do I fit within this market, because my market is based off of what do the men that I want, and do I meet that? Yes or no? If yes, great. If no, I need to change my expectations.
I mean, this is so obvious to men that we have difficulty believing that women don't realize this. They couldn't possibly be that stupid. That guy who's hitting her up, showing her attention, he's just trying to have sex. The fact that he's grinding on you at the club and texting you at 2 a.m. does not mean that he has any interest in getting married to you. Whenever I explain this to women, I always use the analogy of a man at a workplace. Like, imagine he has a stable, steady job, he gets paid 100 grand a year, he's good at it, his coworkers like him, his boss treats him well, and the pay is solid, he makes about 2 grand a week. Then one day, he gets a special offer for some contracting work from an outside company. They've got some special emergency and they need him for a week's work and they're going to pay him 3 grand. But here's the deal. In order to do that contracting work, he would have to quit his stable job. Now, women understand that analogy, especially if it relates to like their boyfriend. If he's asking her advice, she's going to say, well, no, of course not. That 3 grand they're paying you is not reflective of your actual value in the job market. It's just a special emergency. It's contracting work. You would never give up the stable job just for that. So in that context, she understands the principle at play, but when it comes to the dating market, she's oblivious.
Are you taking?
I got a boyfriend.
Leave his ass for me. Is he better looking than me?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Do I have a chance? If you were with him, would I have a chance with him?
Yes, if I wasn't with him, yeah.
Can I get a hug?
Yeah.
Well, hey, well, can I get your number in case
Sure.
he messes up?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want it?
Say your number and I'll flirt.
216-678-65.
Well, hopefully he messes up so I can take you on a picnic.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see.
What is she doing? Why is she jeopardizing the health of her relationship? Having a flirt with a guy who's obviously just trying to pick her up. Men have a hard time understanding this because they think there's no way that this makes any rational sense. And they're right. But guess what? And I know this will be a huge surprise, but women don't always act rationally. If you want to understand the actions of a woman, why she chooses to do what she does, you want to make it so that her behavior makes sense, you just need to ask this simple question. What was she feeling in that moment? I'm going to explain what I mean in just a moment. But first, I want to talk about the online men's discussion groups that I run every single week called Hero Circles. There are 7 circles currently running. Lots of guys have signed up and they're getting a lot of benefit. Let's hear from one of them directly.
My experience with the Hero Circle has been great. Due to my job, I travel a lot, and gives me an opportunity to talk to people my age or older, and just a group of great guys to meet with every week and have conversations, whether it's about friendship, relationship, job, whatever, politics, and just chat and make friends with people who you know are going to be there next week. What makes the Hero Circle so great is the camaraderie between the people in the circle. You know that they're people you'll be with for a long time, so you don't mind opening up to them. You know they're not judging you, or they're not going to be there next week, so you never feel judged. Everyone's there, just to talk and chat. There's no ill will or malice. Everyone's just great and having a good time together.
These circles are available in lots of different time zones. We meet once a week for 2 hours. If you're curious to find out more, head over to the website where you can sign up for a free consultation. Okay, back to understanding women by figuring out what emotion they were feeling in that moment. This can be difficult for a lot of men to understand because their thought process is very logical. They approach the world in a cognitive way. Their emotions don't dictate how they act. They're more just like annoying little mosquitoes they sort of swat away. Like a lot of men are like, yeah, I mean, technically I do have emotions, but whatever, I just ignore them. I just get on with my day. You have to understand women are very different. That's not how they experience emotions. To them, it's not some little mosquito that they can just ignore. It is a tidal wave with enormous force, and she feels helpless to do anything other than just get carried away by it. She's like, rationally, I know I love my boyfriend and I enjoy our stable relationship. But in this moment, I've got Mr. Sexy Confidence and he's putting the moves on me. Right now, the only thing in my awareness is how I am feeling. I am feeling attractive. I am feeling desirable. At this moment, I feel like my value in the eyes of men is sky high and I just want to follow that feeling.
I lied to my boyfriend and now everything I do or say is a lie in his perspective.
What did you lie about?
I actually accepted dude's number and he tried to kiss me. Like, I didn't kiss him, but I didn't say no to giving him my contact information. I liked the attention.
Okay. Sounds like you didn't consider anyone else's feelings in that moment other than the attention that you were feeling.
Yeah, it was selfish, all in all. And that guy actually messaged me and asked me if I wanted to hang out with them. And I went and hung out with them. And I ended up getting really drunk, called my boyfriend for a ride home at like 1 a.m. and he didn't answer, understandably. And then I called dude and he gave me a ride home and we hung out in the backyard for like 3 hours. When I came inside, my boyfriend woke up and confronted me and I lied. And I said that dude gave me a ride home and then I sat outside by myself.
It is so painful because on the one hand, we have to listen to endless criticisms, insults, shaming from women about how superficial men are. We're such low-life scumbags, we're only interested in sex. And yet at the same time, there are so many women who seem completely unable to tell the difference between a man who's interested in making a lifelong marriage commitment to you and a guy who's only hitting you up for sex. Ladies, let me tell you something, and this is a fact that is painful for me to admit because I'm constantly disappointed in my fellow men. But men's standards for who they will have sex with are low. Like, really low, disgustingly low. It's embarrassing. I wish men valued themselves more and had higher standards for who they would have sex with. But for a lot of men, they don't. They'll have sex with almost anyone. Fat women, ugly women, single mothers, women with terrible personalities. If she's up for casual sex, he's down. Men's standards are embarrassing. They're so low. And I get that this makes men look really bad and makes you want to criticize men. And I'm right there with you. But to put the attention on women for just a moment, do you see how painfully moronic it is? Given that a woman should allow her sense of value in the dating market to be swelled by the attention of men who are just hitting her up for sex? Like, women, I get it. It seems like you're hot, that you're really desirable. You're getting hit on 3 times a week. Guys buy you drinks at the club. Your Tinder inbox has got hundreds of messages. You log onto social media and your Instagram is just filled with pages and pages of men praising you, giving you compliments. I get why you think that you're extremely desirable, why your value in the dating market must be like up here. But sadly for you, that is not the correct conclusion to reach. You're not special. Men are just thirsty losers. They're willing to simp out as long as they think that it gives them a chance to have sex. That's it. I mean, that's really happening. And right now, all the women listening to me, they know that I'm telling the truth about this. You know it because it matches with your personal experience, because despite the hundreds of horny dudes who are trying to hit you up and sleep with you, still, you can't get a quality man to commit to you. That's the proof of what I'm talking about. The reason why you're not married yet is because your standards are too high. You think that you're more desirable in the dating market than you actually are.
That you're single by choice?
I am.
No, you're not.
tell me how I'm not when it's my
Okay.
choice to be single.
Well, let's use another example. Let's say I live in my mom's basement, and I'm 300 pounds, and I have Cheeto dust all over my shirt, and I play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't smash any girls, but I walk around and I say, well, I choose not to smash girls. Is that really valid?
No, but how does that relate to what I have going on?
Oh, I like that you asked me that question.
It doesn't. I have guys I talk to, I have options, and a couple of them do want to be in a relationship, but I choose, because I could go be in a relationship
But
with
why
with
would
them
you
if
want
I-
to be in a relationship with those guys?
Anyways.
What I'm trying to establish is that the guy that has the Cheetos all over his shirt, etc.,
Yeah.
he can sit there and say, oh, I'm choosing not to have sex with girls, but the reality is the girls don't want him. Okay? The girls that he want don't want him back.
Okay, so
when girls say, oh, I'm single by choice,
Yeah.
that's not true. You're single because the man that you want doesn't necessarily want you back. And a lot of the times it's because of your choices that women make, because women don't understand that you make certain choices and you automatically alienate yourself from a portion of men that would have potentially taken you seriously had you not done that. But girls like to cope and say, oh, I have a bunch of choices, I have a bunch of options. All those guys on your Instagram, all those guys that come to your job, all those guys that talk to you, they just want to smash. They're not real candidates.
Okay.
So I think it's cope when girls say
That's your
that.
opinion.
You're not long term.
That's your opinion. The cope is strong with this one. If women want a realistic chance at relationship happiness, a good man who treats her well, marriage, children, all of that, then she needs to price herself correctly. We call it a dating market for a reason. It's because you're selling yourself. You are the product and you want somebody to buy it. And so what happens if you're delusional? You overprice the product, it's too expensive, then nobody wants to buy it. It just sits on the shelf gathering dust. And that is what's happening with women. That's why the rates of being single are at an all-time high. It's one of the reasons why women are getting married later and later in life. They've overpriced themselves as a product and nobody's buying. You can see here that women used to get married in their early 20s, but now the median age for marriage for women is almost 30. And that's entirely predictable when you have a generation of women who are delusional about their value. But there's a lag. It takes time for reality to set in and for these women to realize, geez, none of these guys are committing to me. How am I going to make this work? I better start offering discounts quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to end up single. It's time for me to finally face reality.
A lot of girls, once they start pushing that 30 mark, they're like, okay, I got to lower my standards a little bit because it's not working out.
We have that pressure of time.
Even though the solution, if we want a generation of people in happy relationships, long-term commitment, raising children, the solution is actually pretty simple, but I'm concerned that we're not going to implement it. It's reasonably clear what needs to happen. If women's value of themselves is unrealistically high, then they need to come back to earth. To get the market moving again, women need to price themselves realistically. But I'm cynical. I don't think it's going to happen, or at least not without a fight, not without a lot of kicking and screaming. Because there's this narrative that it's demeaning or insulting to women that they should price themselves realistically. What a sad indictment of our culture at the moment, that encouraging people to align with reality is seen as insulting. To me, that's positive. That's a virtue. If I'm delusional and I think that I should be a head chef at a 5-star restaurant, and somebody points out that I have no experience and that I'd actually be better suited as a student in culinary school, that feedback, that's a good thing, right? That keeps my ego in check. That keeps me grounded in reality. I don't want to be delusional. I want to know where I truly am. That way I can start putting in the work so that one day I can fulfill my dream of being a head chef. That's my perspective, but I fear that modern women see it very differently. If you point out that these men are not actually interested in marriage, they're just giving them attention because they want to have sex, therefore their value is not as high as they think it is, there's no gratitude for that feedback. They're going to be highly insulted. What a missed opportunity. If they could embrace where their true value is, then they'd know what they need to work on. Men get this. Men understand this. There's like a whole subgenre of content available for men that's basically just insulting them, right? Like just criticizing them, like, man, you're fuck-ups. What are you doing? You're failing your life. You got to get your shit together. A lot of men are like, yes, finally someone's telling me this so I can work on myself. I can get to it. Is there an equivalent genre that appeals to women that says, Women, you're fucking up. You're too masculine. You're too argumentative. You got to work on yourself. You got to become more feminine. What the fuck are you doing? Get your life together. I don't think that there's an equivalent that exists for women. There does not seem to be the same appetite to align yourself with reality, to price yourself realistically. So many women are invested in continuing to see themselves as unique and special and highly desirable despite a lot of evidence to the contrary. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to take responsibility. Even if you point out the fact that they're still single, that they're not married, they want to deflect all of the attention and blame. The only possible reason I'm not married yet is because all men are trash. That's it. It's not me. No, it's men to blame. It's all their fault.
I understand the frustration of women because what they're saying is there's not a big pool of good men.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
That's not a lie.
Listen.
What?
There's not a lot of good men who want y'all. There's a lot of good men out there like where the good man at? Like they hiding under a rock or in a cave. They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at the bank. They walking right past you and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're going to walk right by you. Your pretty face ain't going to go too far because everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we're not looking at you. There's plenty of good men. They just don't want your ass. I ain't never heard no woman say, I know I ain't shit. She'll say, this man ain't shit. He ain't shit. He was bad. He was bad. But for the most part, every woman think they're a good woman.
For being there.
What makes you a good woman? Who's auditing that you're a good woman? You are auditing yourself? Why don't you ask your exes what they think? Because all your relationships diminished and ended in turmoil.
Fucking savage. My favorite quote, who's auditing y'all? So if a woman's value is not determined by the number of men who want to sleep with her, but instead by the number of men who want to commit to her, who want to marry her, then what determines a man's value in the dating market? Is it the number of women who want to sleep with him or the number of women who want to marry him? If you want to keep this conversation going, I answer that question in the full-length version of this video, which is available on my Patreon. I just post shortened, abridged versions of my videos here on YouTube. If you want to see the full-length versions, you got to come over to Patreon.